Hello, wonderful sweet babies. So today we're going to be talking about little baby's baby mama, Ayesha Howard, and how she's actually going to have a new baby by a ball player named Anthony Edwards. So it's been out for a while that Ayesha Howard is, currently pregnant. She's going to have a baby girl this time around. And, a lot of people are actually dragging her as well as dragging her new current baby daddy because of the way that everything has came about with their relationship, or should I say their lack thereof relationship. So Anthony Edwards has decided that he wants to actually get a paternity test done to see if he's actually indeed the pappy. So I'm going to show you guys several text messages between these two, as well as this long ass dissertation that Ayesha Howard decided to post. So we're going to get into it, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts after. So a few months ago, Ayesha Howard gave birth to her daughter, and her caption reads, Golden Girls, 1014. So then as of recently, it came forth that Anthony Edwards decided to get a paternity test from Ayesha to see if the baby was actually his. And just a little side note for those that did not know, this is actually Little Baby, the rapper's first baby mama. So the baby mama that is the mother of his son Jason. So we're going to go through a few of their text messages to see what they were saying towards each other. So it starts with Ayesha saying this, and also I just wanted to mention how she put a little wolf next to his name for his contact info, because, it's clear that she's been eyeing that this man is a timber wolf for the longest. But I digress. So Ayesha starts off by saying, we both may have intended, and being childish / running from it won't make it go away. I'm pregnant, wanted to tell you in person, but you gave me no other choice. We probably should have kept it cordial, but we're here now. He then says, okay, lol, get the abortion. She then responds and says, I don't need hush money. My intentions aren't to blackmail you in any way. I'm being upfront and honest. I'm not getting an abortion. It's not an option. I can keep you updated through the process, or I can disappear until the baby's here. It's on you. Either way, I'm done going back and forth. So then he says, OMG, bye. And she says, not bye, see you later. All right, so here are some more text messages. At this point, this bitch just started just saying stuff just to make herself feel bad, I guess. Because she starts off by saying, Anthony, do you hate me? He says he's, but I think he meant to say yes. And he said, because you're bringing a child in the world that's going to be without a father. And she responds and says, I'm not asking you to be with me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And if you choose to be a complete ghost to your seed, that's totally up to you. That's something you'll have to take up with the higher power. Hard to believe when you've fathered a kid outside of your own. But I come in peace despite what you may think, and I'm not sure how or when to communicate with you without overwhelming. But we are clear on how you feel. He says, I won't be in a child life I don't want, lol. And he responds back and says, you are sick. So she says, maybe there's a lesson in it for us, all one you might actually learn from this. He says, I'm not trying to learn. She says, obviously, but learning might actually help you move differently so you don't keep revisiting the same situations, if that makes sense to you. He says, okay, lol. She then says, I'm not trying to go back and forward with you, period. Already you seem bullet-headed and defense for whatever reason, and we ain't even got to get into that, but I'm grown enough to cut to the chase because I'm grown enough to accept the consequences of my actions. Rather, you're ready to accept yours. On that note, we can have this conversation now or later in person or text, but the situation has become deeper than, and that's pretty much where it ends. So I did the text messages a little bit out of order, but you could pretty much see that, the gist of it is she pretty much expressed to him that she was pregnant. He had no remorse or no, get up and go about the whole situation, and he wanted her to get an abortion. She refused, and she is accepting the fact that she will be a single mother. And he is pretty much upset with her because he's like, well, I'm not going to be in the child's life. You're going to have a child that I don't want, so that's on you. So, yeah, that's pretty much where that whole situation ended. So, now we're going to look at this super huge long passage that Ayesha Howard decided to write in regards to her now new baby daddy asking for a paternity test on their new baby girl. So, as you guys can see, this is all that she wrote. I'm going to go ahead and blow it up and read it for you guys. So, she pretty much starts off by saying this: you have all become so numb, ungrateful, and disrespectful of the ability to reproduce and give life that abortion has become desensitized. You are so accustomed to seeing, hearing, and being raised by women who had to be the village and after abandonment that society has normalized. Cowardly behavior. Now the blame is placed on the woman, on innocent babies, while the man is continuously protected. She then says, let me fix that. It's not your fault, sis. It's your body, your choice, and your voice still matters. Although you may have seen your mother, aunts, and grandmother handle this on their own, they were never supposed to, and neither are you. To the men who have lacked and continue to lack male representation, influence, and accountability, being a man doesn't start and stop with an erection. Being a father is not optional by bypassing the preventative measures available to you beforehand. Don't become what your fathers were to your mothers. Conceiving takes two. In that moment, both male and female have choices that determine the outcome of tomorrow. It's everyone's responsibility to make choices they can live with. She continues to say, I'm happy with mine. My daughter is a God given gift, not a mistake. The act of consensual, and my baby is not to blame. It's my body, my choice, my right, my mind. I'm not imposing what you should do with your body, so please respect my choice with mine. To any woman navigating single motherhood, stay strong and stand tall for your babies. The wrong is in abandonment, not in the blessing of reproduction. So here's my thoughts. I think both of these people are off the rails because both of these people are grown. So I'm first going to address Anthony Edwards. I completely despise when people try to make it seem like when people are younger, they just don't know any better and they're not, completely understanding of how things work. He's aware, just like she's aware, that if you don't wear protection, then things occur, whether it's, diseases or infections or even a child. So they both are completely aware of that. These are two grown people. They've taken health just like everybody else has taken health in high school, and they know the things that happen. I feel like, if anything, the younger people of this generation are more aware of these things than even we were back when I was a younger kid, and even before then. So I feel like, this is no different of a situation despite the huge age gap. I feel like if he didn't want to be a father to a child, he never should have started doing things that he was doing to cause for a child to be born. I also don't think he gets a say because, due to the fact that this was consensual, I don't think he gets a say in saying, oh, I don't want the baby. And then I don't think he gets a say in saying what she's allowed to do to her body. And then I also don't think that he gets a say to say that he's not going to take care of his responsibility. No, you're going to take care of your responsibility, whether you like it or not. So, this woman is definitely going to hit you where it hurts, which is your pockets, which at this given moment, you get what you deserve. In my personal opinion, this is my opinion and my opinion alone, I feel like Ayesha has always given predator vibes. Like she's done the same with little baby, and she's doing the same with this young man right here. I feel like she goes after these really young men and she gets babies out of them because she wants to go after the more naive people that she can manipulate. Because, yes, he is a grown man, but I do feel like she has a specific notion here involved because she's only doing this to younger men that she knows have not completely, solidified themselves in life, and she's going after the ones that are young, dumb, with a ton of money. So I feel like that to me gives predator vibes, because you're going after a specific group of men that you know you can manipulate. And I just find it funny that she, wrote this long ass dissertation about, learning from mistakes and not making the same generational curses and everything else. But yet she literally did the same thing twice herself. She had a child with little baby who was much younger than her, and she ended up keeping the baby and everything else. And then she turned around having another child with another man who didn't want to have a child with her, and continued the cycle. So it's like you're preaching to the choir, but you're not even taking your own advice. So it's like, at least if you're going to mention these things and say these things, the least that you can do is actually, acknowledge your own wrongdoings and take your own advice. Because a part of me feels like she knew he would not want a kid. Like, this boy is 23, more than likely at the peak of his career. Why would he want a child, Ayesha? Yes, he's over here, having fun, doing things unprotected, but you know good and well that you could have spoke up, seeing as you are almost 40 and you've been through this before, and said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. But instead, you rode on this and you allowed for this to happen, and now you're upset that it's happening when you knew this was going to be the outcome. That is why I feel bad for not the mom. I don't feel bad for the dad. I feel bad for the little baby, because unfortunately she has parents that have bricks for brains. But that's my opinion. What's yours?